What up, everybody? How you feeling? Afternoon stream today. We had some stuff we had to take care of this morning. That's why we didn't have the morning stream, but we will be back live just as scheduled every day, 10:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. But we got our afternoon stream today. We're going to break down what's going on. So everybody get involved. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I watched some football yesterday and was working on some stuff in the back end for some things coming for BitLab. I'm excited to be back with you all today. Excited to dive in these charts, figure out what's going on, where we think things are going. So everybody, roll call. Let's see those lab coats. Let's see those test tubes. Let's see some positivity. We're going to be getting involved here today with where the price is going. All right, who we got in the room? We got maybe a Band-Aid, Crimson's girlfriend, Alexandra G. Who else we got in here? B-Rad Crypto, Matt C, my main man. I'm George 2, Sawtooth Hiker, Bit Voodoo, Crimson Caravan Company. Who else we got? Having trouble seeing my screen sometimes on here. I'm gonna have to adjust where this is at. Alex Green, my guy. Dale Rodriguez, how you doing? Mike Volmer, what's up? I love being here every day with you all. Appreciate y'all showing up on a daily basis. We got, I don't even know how to say that, Baccarad's Woodworks? How you doing? Total Clinic Solutions. What do you guys think? What do you think everybody thinks is going to happen with price? Do you think we're going to dip down there into the low 24s, into the 23s? You think we're going to hold where we're at? You think we're going to be pushing up? Let me know what your thoughts are on the Bitcoin price. You think we're kind of flushing out that liquidity to the downside and we're going to be springing up from here? What are your thoughts? What are you doing? Are you sitting on your hands? Are you buying? Are you selling? We're going to be diving into this in just about a minute. So I want to see everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that bell. We're breaking down the charts today, looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a bunch of different altcoins. We're going to be trying to map out where we think price is going, where those probabilities are lying, to give us a probability bias rather than just a hope and a dream. Trading on data, not on feelings. That's what this is all about. So everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. We're going to be getting going here in just a moment. What's up, everybody? Good afternoon, good night, good morning, wherever you're tuned in from. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream, the afternoon stream where we break down all the charts, try to figure out what's going on with price, where the probabilities suggest that the price is going. These are tradable assets, and it's all about understanding what the broad sentiment is across those assets so that we can plan for it, so we can get into positions and get out of positions effectively and in a meaningful way that's hedging ourselves, protecting ourselves with good risk management, but also allowing ourselves to catch the meat of the move. For many of you, it might be a good idea to be a longer-term investor until a longer-term, position sort of trader and investor, rather than trading on that 5 minute and 2 minute and even hour chart. Because if you don't have the skills yet, you're more likely than not going to be trading on emotion, hope, fear, greed. And that's only going to lead you to donating your money to people that have a better strategy. So my name's Kellam. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. If you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. It's time to dive into it. We're going to jump right on into it today. So make sure you head over. I got a couple messages. There's another fake profile out there. Make sure you are following the correct Kellam. There's only one Kellam. There can only be one. Look for the blue check, look for the hit logo, but look for the spelling as well. Kelly, Kellam. There's no dot, there's no space, there's no extra letters. This is me right here. Make sure you're following the correct one so you don't get wrapped up into scams and stuff from those fake profiles are out there. Make sure you're also following the BitLab Academy page right here at Academy BitLab. Look for that gold check, look for the hit logo, and hit that retweet, hit that like button. Let's get involved. Now, what are we talking about today? Well, let's kind of come over here. Let's look at what's going on. Bitcoin losing a level, pretty key level. We've had this line drawn on this chart. I mean, most of the year. We've had this drawn all the way since we had these 2 points. And when the price action was doing this and separating, having, a bullish, essentially kind of a divergence of sorts, price going up so far away from this level here, it may have felt like this was a stupid line and the price action was never going to hit that. But when you're prepared, you prepare things into the future. And that's one of the best things that can give you an edge in these markets, is looking ahead and plotting out things that could happen, even if they don't seem likely. Because right here didn't quite get down to this level, right? However, we see the price action pushed up, and once we broke above this level here, it's like, oh, it's going up into the moon. It may have felt like that, but we have to remember we are pre-halving, and being pre-halving, we know that there tends to be a bullish impulse that does get pulled back, a little bit of a sell-off before that, around the time of that halving. So as exciting as this is, understanding the broader picture, the more macro picture, the historical data that price action has told us about what price can likely do and what different opportunities, different options that it may do comparing past cycles, then we knew that there was still a good possibility that price action was going to come back at some point. Maybe not all the way to here, maybe only to here, but we still have these things mapped out. In this case, we had these zones mapped out. Let me go ahead and delete that line. Let me delete all these lines. But we lost this. We're well aware of this. This scared a lot of people. We had that bullish impulse here with the grayscale news, only to get rejected at this descending resistance level. And we could see, then we had another smaller impulse here, and now we're losing this level. So on August 4th, I believe it was August 4th, right here, I sold a good portion of my altcoins. People thought I was so bearish and like, well, I'm just going to buy them from you. Well, I sold those because I felt like with the lack of follow through with price action at $31,800 for Bitcoin, and in this case, is even if you're thinking about altcoins primarily, the lack of follow through and conviction from the bulls to get through that level suggested to me, and also looking at the shape of price action, this shape right here, coming out to the 8-hour. You can see, I've talked about this at length here on this channel, and that is this kind of rolling overness right here. It's not obvious here because we have an impulse and a larger impulse, but this right here was the real story, the narrative that was starting to unfold, that the bulls were losing strength. Why? Because we had the best news in history. Turns out that it was speculative news because nothing fundamentally changed. That was a BlackRock spot application, spot ETF application, and not getting through this level. And in fact, right at this point, we got a bearish signal here on the BitLab trading stack. In addition to that, we can see right here, look at this. Not only do we get the bearish signal, we see this momentum waves clipping. We get the triangle right here. This is suggesting likely trend reversal. And in addition to all of this, look at this massive bearish divergence. Price action high here, higher high here, and look at this trend waves here. Much lower high on this zone right here. So not only did we get a bearish signal forewarning this, we also had the trend wave basically converging back towards the zero line, basically reversing the uptrend, and we had bearish divergence on these levels as well. So this, I mean, what a call this was right here. Price action is coming down, and I was actually going to send out a newsletter yesterday, and I took a bunch of shots, and then I ended up being locked out of MailChimp for the afternoon, so wasn't able to send it. But essentially what I was actually in that newsletter for the BitLab Academy. By the way, you can sign up for that if you come over here to the BitLab Academy page, scroll down, and it'll automatically pop up. Sign up right here. Get involved in there. I'm going to be sending out those on a weekly basis now that we have everything under control. We got the ship being steered again, and we're really going to be diving into a bunch of stuff there and with Discord. But I wanted to point out here the likelihood that we had a possibility of coming up, but that was a much smaller probability. I was outlining in that newsletter that I'm kind of sad that I was locked out of the MailChimp yesterday, so I couldn't send it. But I was outlining the higher likelihood that we are going to lose this level. And what has happened? We lost the level. So the question here is, what is the narrative? Not that I'm feeling, not that the news is saying, not that other people are talking about. What does the price action tell me about the likelihoods? Let's see. We got a question in here. Kelly, let's buy that cheap AVAX. Hey, you know what? I'd like to. Let's identify here in a little bit what those levels are, because I would like, believe me, Quant, AVAX, XRP, Cardano, HBAR, GRT, Near, Ethereum. Those are the things I'm really looking at going into this next cycle. So maybe we can try and look at all those today and identify what would be the, likely, but still a good sort of, it wouldn't even be a dream buy. It'd be like, oh, I hope it gets down to that level because you can really take advantage of that price. That's what we want to see. So let's start though here with Bitcoin and talk about what is the data on the chart in the price action? What is it letting me know? What is it letting you know? Well, in this case, every consecutive candle helps paint a picture about where the narrative lies with the bulls and the bears. In this case, we lost this level, but what else have we done? Well, we broke below this low here and below this low here. We haven't yet broken this level right here, which is essentially right about 24.6. But this is already a change. This is already a change in pace here. We had consolidation to the side, sideways consolidation. In fact, we had this push up and break down, and this consolidation that we had after this bull trap actually was kind of consolidating. The majority of these candles find themselves under the lows of these candles. So there's a little bit of a weakness here on this pump up. We didn't even come down and sit above this with a little bit more of a bullish defense of this pullback. No, this actually came down further. It's not by much, but we can see if we zoom in on this like this, you see how this level here, this is the kind of meat of this zone right here, and then this is the meat of this zone right here. See, that's that's about a $200 or $300 difference, but It is a difference. So what we can see here is as the price action is riding on this level, riding on this level, riding on this level with a little bit of wick down, both up and down right here. And then we ultimately lost the level. Now, will this continue to the downside? Well, let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit. Let's go to the daily candle. I'm gonna go ahead and move this so it's not in our way. And let's just sort of go through this. Let's see what we're seeing on the BitLab trading stack here on top, this the BitLab intelligence. We can see that we had this basically the trend signal line has flipped above we have basically a bit, I won't call it a death cross, but we have a bearish cross of the 20 moving average and this EMA band right here. If we zoom in on this, we have, see, this is a 20 moving average right here with the EMA ribbon, and we have this dynamic support zone. And this comes down, it's bouncing on the trend signal line, bouncing on the trend signal line, bouncing, and actually, you know, we're really testing that. And the price action tries to come up again, and the bears come down and lose the trend signal line. And very quickly after, we have this basically this bearish cross of the 20 moving average, the EMAs, and the trend signal line right here. Look at this. And we have a fully established sort of front running, letting us know that we have an established bear trend forming on this time frame. And then we get 6 bearish divergences right there. If you weren't sure, if you weren't feeling conviction, like if you weren't having a conviction that the price action was going to be coming down, well, you see this not only loses the trend signal line, the 50 moving average here, but also the weekly VWAP, all the levels. And we come up and test right here. And on this test, we get 6 bearish divergences, suggesting the underlying data was telling you strength does not agree with this price. Volume does not agree with this price. Momentum does not agree with this price. All the underlying important underlying factors are saying this is trying to make an attempt, but there's no gas in the car to take it up the hill. And on this rejection, boom, I mean, it really just starts cascading from there. And where we're at here, this is a grayscale pump. Comes up to this level that we had established, this descending level of resistance, gets rejected. Basically, we did breach the trend signal line, yes, but immediately gets rejected, comes back down, and is all the way under not only the weekly VWAP, but the whole EMA ribbon and the 20 moving average down here. It's trying, makes an attempt up. Where? Why didn't it get to this line here? Because look at this. We have the 50 exponential moving average right here. It gets rejected on. And as it, looking at this does not tell me that this is going to happen. This sudden up move. Now, could it happen? Absolutely. Do I think it's likely? I think it's very unlikely, in fact. I think what we're going to be, I think what's more likely in store is for this to test. This is exactly essentially where we're testing right here, these lows. You see these lows right here? And we're testing that zone. So this right here, and this is looking on BitGet. I just want you to be aware of something. This is important for anybody out there. When you're doing your analysis, make sure, yeah, do the charts on the asset, on the exchange that you may be holding and trading on, but you also need to broaden your data and look at different charts from different exchanges of that same asset. In this case, we're looking at the daily on Bitcoin on the BitGet chart. I just want you to see this wick right here, okay? Excuse me. If we look at this same chart on a different exchange, oops, you can see, look at that, there's no wick. So I'm not looking, when I'm looking at this BitGet chart, I'm not really looking at this this wick here as a really strong data point as to a level that, you know, we're still above this low. No, because if we look at basically an exchange that doesn't have as much derivatives, it's got a lot of spot volume, and you can get a sort of healthy metric. And in this case, look at this. We're you know, in fact, we almost have like a head and shoulders here. And if this were to be a head and shoulders, I don't quite think it is, but the structure is very similar. Then this is suggesting that we're coming down here into the upper 23s. If we look at this on another, let's look at it on the BitGet chart. Option T. Again, down here, mid 23s. This is 23.5. So I feel like the data is telling me there's a stronger likelihood that the price action is going to explore lower levels and test the resolve of where the bulls are going to come in and defend a zone. Because remember, at the end of the day, right now, we have one of the best risk-adjusted times in history to get involved with Bitcoin. And some would argue other assets as well. But in this case right now, Bitcoin has a, understood and transparent program supply. We understand the inflation rate and the reduction of that inflation rate every 4 years, actually 210,000 blocks, which is about 3 years and 10 months. That's known as the halving, but also the time in class. People are aware of this. It's in the zeitgeist of every government and culture, in the Western world for sure, but also the Eastern world and basically any even third world countries. There's some spots in Africa that you could trade Bitcoin just by using text messages. The point being is this has established itself as literally, essentially its own asset class. And we have all these institutions sitting there ready and waiting, maybe not quite ready, but they're ready to be ready. They're digging in, they're setting up the different crypto teams and research floors and all these things so they can get involved. And we have the Bitcoin spot ETFs on the chopping block right now with the SEC. And, Gary Gensler's taken so many damn losses in the last year and a half or so that I do think, especially coming into this presidential election cycle year, that at some point when's enough, Gary? BlackRock has spoken. Let's be honest. They probably fund half the things in the government, and they want, they call Bitcoin an international asset that will transcend other currencies, transcend other. Institutions want in. So with this price action coming down, the question is going to be, especially with all the fair value accounting rule changes, allowing institutions and corporations to hold Bitcoin on the balance sheet and we've talked about this at length last week. You know what I'm talking about, where if they held it at a loss at any point in the year, even if they're up at the end of the year, they have to declare the loss and they cannot declare any winnings, profits unless they actually sell that asset. Well, they just changed that rule. It should be going into effect here sometime. There's some speculation of if it's going to be able to be used in 2024 or all the way into 2025. But the point being is all these things are the awareness of Bitcoin and institutions' ability to add and utilize Bitcoin on their balance sheets in their treasuries as an investment vehicles. Product offerings for family offices, family financial offices. Bitcoin is at the best position it's ever been historically. And, like Gary Cardone, I was on a Spaces with him this weekend. He said, Bitcoin right now is a better investment at $25,000 than it was if it was at $9 back, when it was way back then, because the difference then is nobody knew what it was. It was, it's still risky now, but it was absolutely like penultimately all risk when it was $9. There was no idea if it was going to really gain a foothold and, basically permeate all culture. So now with how many people are in this world, think about the millionaires alone. I can't remember the metric. Let's see, how many millionaires in the world? How many millions? Let's see. 56 million people. 56 million millionaires in the world. And there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin ever. Do the math. That's not even considering institutions, people with, middle-class families. And then in addition to that, the fact that we have countries out there that have inflation going absolutely through the roof, runaway inflation, and Bitcoin is an option for them to basically catalyze their economy in a way and stop the bleeding. So it's on one hand, it's a freedom It's a choice in freedom, but it's also a choice in sovereignty, both personal and institute. I mean, it's the best opportunity ever. So I don't care if price goes down here. In fact, I care if it doesn't go down there, because that means I can't get it at these lower prices. Now, would I be thrilled if this just bounced here and went up? Absolutely, I would. And I already have my positions. I already have my long-term plan. But in all honesty, I want all of you to have the opportunity to get Bitcoin at these lower prices. And the narrative in the charts, the data is suggesting that this is highly likely for the price to come down into, I would say, low 24s. But in reality, I do think if we come down into this zone, the question's going to be, is there new interest that comes in or more money that comes in from institutions taking advantage of price if it gets down to those levels? That's the question. What do you guys think? Man, I love water. All right, let's go ahead and dive into this a little bit deeper. That's on the daily. Let's get down to the 4-hour chart, see if there's any other narrative points in the price action that we can really dive into here. So, okay, looking at this, we've got this level, previous lows over here. This is really the area that we're bouncing at right now. So we are getting a little bit of a, this is a 4-hour. Let's get a little bit more resolution. 1-hour chart. So we see this breakdown, and on these little breakdowns, this is not when you go in and just go in 30x leverage. You should never use 30x leverage. Don't get over leveraged just because this dipped and now you're going to try and buy this dip on the way up, because you see somebody was buying up here only to have it reverse. And it's reversing, showing us weakness, in fact, because this bounce here only came up essentially to the, look at this, to this, didn't even get into the EMA ribbon here, didn't even get to the 20 moving average, didn't even get to the golden pocket. I mean, look at that. It barely cleared the 382 fib. And depending on where you draw it, it didn't even do that. You see, if you do it from this point, rejected at this. If you have a bounce on a breakdown like this and the bounce doesn't even get up, basically it gets rejected at 382, that's saying the bears are in charge for the moment. Now, could this change? Yes. Can we get a W formation here? What do I mean by W? We have this right here, up, down, up. We could get that, but that's not what we'll have to see how things develop. We're only, if this bounces here and comes up to here, we're going to be watching this level right here, this neckline of this W. And if we break that, then it doesn't mean it's just going to go up and away, because we have all of this to contend with. We have the 20 moving average, all this EMA ribbons. We have the dynamic resistance zone. We have this massive order block right here, this red order block from the BitLab volume right here. You see that? So a lot of liquidity interest, a lot of interest in the order books within these, large clusters of selling pressure here. So it doesn't look to me like, okay, we just hit a spring or we're about to just moonshot and go up and away. It looks to me like this broke down. We had a little bit of a retracement, and this will more likely not continue on to the downside. Now let's get down to a little bit smaller time frame. I mean, yeah, see, this does not look sexy to me. For bulls, For bears, awesome. Now, can we get that retracement? We look at this on a little bit larger time frame on this 4-hour. We could honestly see this move right here. We're going to have to see on how these candles play out, because each one of these candles tells a story. This is an expansion in bearish momentum to the downside. We have a purple candle here. Why is it purple candle? Part of the BitLab trading stack. The purple candle signifying that there's a lot of selling volume. And in confluence with that, you see on this momentum wave on the BitLab trend fuel here, part of the BitLab trading stack, see how these white bars coming down and then they turn red? A lot of selling pressure, a lot of selling volume. So I'd like to see if we do want this to reverse back to the upside, I'd like to see this candle turn into a yellow candle, basically getting stopping volume. What am I like this right here? You see this stopping volume, but this didn't even quite. This stopped it, consolidated, and it still fell out. So as it stands right now on the 4-hour chart, we need to see a little bit more clarity. We're about to get a candle closure in 30 minutes. Is this going to be the start of a bear flag? Is this going to be the start of a W? Is this going to be a momentary pause before continuation of the downside? Let me know what you think in chat. How are you trading this? I'm ultimately looking down here in this order block zone, down here at this basically very high 23s, very low 24s. And the question I'm going to have there is, what is the underlying data that shows up when the price gets to these levels? Is there going to be is there going to be a lot of bullish buying defending this zone, or is once we break this level, once we really break below 25,000, are we going to see some coins moving onto exchange, selling pressure, so on and so forth? Because if we look at this, we look at the Puel multiple here on a Glassnode. One of the things I want you to notice, and this is basically a measurement of mining profitability, and what we can see here is when miners, when this basically, this zone, once we have these reversals, the price, the Puel multiple, when this does round out, tends to come back and test somewhere in this region. Push up, tends to come back, touch somewhere in this region. In this case, it did here and here. In this case, we're rolling over. Are we going to see a little bit of pressure on miners and them shutting off their machines and not being as profitable and needing to dump more on the market? Because we also see that FTX may be liquidating some of their crypto portfolio, some of their crypto holdings, to help manage some of the things that's going on with their legal cases and all the other stuff that's going on. So we got to be a little careful right now. And this was not this, to anybody that's like worried about this little drop we had right here, remember, I was talking about this up here. So had you been watching this channel, and most of you have been, let me know what you think. If you were watching when I was talking about the Elliott wave, this likely being a double top, I was calling for that ABC correction. In fact, I think I still have it on, this chart. Let me see. I believe I do. Elliott wave. I don't know where it's at. I must have deleted it. Oh, you know what? It's because it's not on this one. It's on this one right here. That's why. Too many charts. So I think this is it. It doesn't matter. Essentially what I had done, and I looked it up earlier today. I think it was August 8th. I did it on the BitBoy show. I basically drew out this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave, and then an A, B, C correction right to this point, roughly about where this low is. And this is exactly what's played out. The question is going to be, because there was so much hope and excitement through all this, and some of the best news we've gotten ever in Bitcoin, and the fact that we're falling now. Yes, there's a lot of hope. There's a lot of hope in the market because of what's coming with the halving, the presidential, all these things, but we still have a very high likelihood of having a recession. The question is going to be, how does Bitcoin endure if we do have larger pullbacks in the market? So, if we actually come over here, we look at the Bitcoin dominance, we see something very interesting with the Bitcoin dominance here. We have this sort of broadening wedge here, and this is which is technically a bearish setup, meaning price action. This charting will likely break down, but we also have this basically bull flag or falling wedge right here, which is a bullish structure, which is suggesting that this may be working its way back up here to this 52%. Why do we care about this when we're talking about the Bitcoin price? Because this is letting us know what's going on within the health of the market and where capital is flowing from either into Bitcoin, out of altcoins, or out of Bitcoin into altcoins, or not even out of Bitcoin, but new capital coming in doesn't even touch Bitcoin. It goes straight to altcoins and vice versa. We want to understand the capital flow within this ecosystem so we know how we can position our assets, when, where, how we diversify. and when we're buying something or selling something, because, you know, we've talked about this a lot here on this channel. Why would you buy a digital asset that's more risky than Bitcoin if it also is setting up on the chart? It's like, for instance, if it was Quant or if it was DOT or just name any altcoin, if you're looking at it on a chart, for instance, let's actually do it straight here on the, I don't know why I'm pantomiming it when we can do it here on the charts themselves. So for instance, let's look at DOT. Okay, we're gonna do DOT BTC. Oh, I cannot type. So I mean, look at this. So DOT, it's gonna be a lot higher risk. It's gonna be a lot higher on the risk matrix, and what type of risk you're taking on when you're trading this. So why not wait to buy something like this until the chart itself says that this is about to break out against Bitcoin, meaning that this can outperform Bitcoin? And I'm not against altcoins. I want to let you all know. My whole point with all this is if you're going to invest in these markets, use the charts themselves to help point you in a direction to what asset classes, what things you should be putting your money into, and the most important consideration, at what point in time in that market cycle. Because there's no point in taking on extra risk if Bitcoin's going to outperform it. Might as well just have Bitcoin. And then there's other parts of the market where, God, man, I'll tell you what, these altcoins, when they get moving, they move like a, yes, but get in them in the right time and make the most use out of it. Because, for instance, if you're just holding on the sidelines and things are moving and you're just waiting for the perfect setup, maybe there's never going to be the perfect setup. However, if you basically have your assets allocated towards Bitcoin, and, you know, altcoins are moving to altcoins, but they're not moving as fast as Bitcoin. Then when you see the setup on the asset paired with Bitcoin chart, when you see that good setup, you've already been outpacing the growth holding Bitcoin. And when you see that capital metric is going to switch to where whatever set asset, whether it's Chainlink, Cardano, AVAX, Quant, it doesn't matter the asset. When you see that that's about to take off, it's about to break out against Bitcoin, then capital flows into those. And that's one of the things that you see. That's one of the reasons why I wouldn't say trade specifically on this at all, but being aware of the dominance here lets you know what the narrative is going to be and how the capital is being allocated within the space broadly. Because then we can look at this, of course, and then we'll come over here to the total 3, which shows the total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is all altcoins. Now, does this look like a bullish setup? Not quite. The only thing bullish about this is that we got a little bit of a double bottom right here. But this, I mean, this to me almost, oh, wow, I didn't even notice that. Almost looks like a little bit of a, it's not. I was going to say it almost looks like a little bit like a Head and Shoulders. See, boom, boom, boom. And if this were the case, holy moly, I did not even see that. If this were the case, this would be the neckline. And look at that. This measurement takes this directly down to exactly where this descending trend line is. That would be pretty scary. And that would suck for people that have just been holding on. And I don't mean long-term holding, 2 years, 5 years, maybe to the top of the next market cycle. I'm talking about people that are holding because they think it's going to pop soon and they can't wait for their assets to finally be coming up. This is telling me that looks like there's a high potential for altcoins to take a little bit of a beating. Do I think it's going to drop all the way down like this? I don't know. That's a pretty significant drop. That would be a 14% drop on the total. But note that that is going to include the larger market cap coins as well as the smaller market cap coins. So some of these, some coins you have may only drop 5, 8, 12%. Other coins may drop 70%. So you've got to be very careful here. Now, do I think it's going to break all the way down there? I think, you know, this would probably be a pretty good stopping point for altcoins if this does come down. But let's go ahead and look at some altcoins real quick. We're going to come back to Bitcoin at the end. I just wanted to talk a little bit, not only charts, but we had to talk about how we're navigating our thoughts and our understanding of where capital's flowing, so we don't get lost in the shuffle of only just trying to make money. Let's try to allocate money so the money, in a lot of ways, can make itself if you allocate appropriately. Alex Green said, I'm holding my dry powder, baby. Man, I'm thirsty today. I started these new vitamins, vitamin D and magnesium, and I overslept this morning. I usually wake up at like 6. I ended up sleeping till like, I don't know, 8:45. I was like, holy crap. Then I had to run to the office because we had a big meeting this morning. But I might have to take that magnesium in the morning instead of in the evening because that knocked me out. I've been thirsty all day. So let's go ahead and look at some of those coins that we were talking about. So let's look at, I know AVAX had some moves, and what we were talking about prices. I was talking about, I want to get this cheap. So let's look at this. What is going to be possible? Let's actually not look at it on Coinbase. I want a larger chart. So we're just going to draw a couple lines, option J. I'm not even looking over here. I'm looking at past price action. So we got the order block there, and we got this down here. So wouldn't it be wonderful and here's again, I'm looking at this as an opportunity, not a bias of bulls or bears. And an opportunity mindset, and I don't want any of you to get wrecked. I don't at all. But from an opportunity perspective, I would love for AVAX to lose this level, which it has. It's below this level is the low here. So we've lost there we go. We've lost this level. It stands to reason that the next spot down is where this order block is. And we have, look at this. We had this high volume candles into stopping volume, high volume, stopping volume. This is going to be so great in the bull trend because we're going to be able to really take advantage of trading on the way up and on the way down. But we could see that next zone is, man, that's looking like a sexy price there. This would be, we could put a line right in the middle of it, about just under $7. And that, I mean, even from where we're at now, that's a 25% dip. If we were to go to the next level down, that's all the way down at 487. That's a 50% drop from here. So what I'm doing is putting in an order that's right about just above $5 and putting another order in right under, I would say, in the $7 range. So 675 to 710, somewhere in that region. I'm gonna look at that more tightly tonight and identify exactly where I want my entry. But basically in this order block region. And with the BitLab trading stack, this automatically is printing it for you, areas of interest. Now, even if we get a little bit of a rally here, it's important to note, you see these lows right here? These lows, if we come across also, we have all these order blocks directly above us. So even if we get a little bit of a rally, I do expect if we get a little bit of a rally that we will get rejected at least once, if not just full rejection and come down. So this is what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing an expansion in bearish momentum to the downside. Yeah, RSI strength is down at 17%. Question is going to be, do we get some bullish divergences? We want to be patient and see how these things play out. So let's look at this on the 4-hour. So 4-hour, man, this is just as opportunity lens on my eyeballs. I say this looks great for people that are just they just need it to go up already. This sucks. If you're ever frustrated with price action, remember the only reason you can be frustrated is because you're not taking advantage of the right opportunity in the space at that time. You're out of position. So learn from that. Ask yourself, okay, this sucks. How could I have addressed this differently, my strategy, so that I don't get stuck in this situation again? I mean, look at this. We had, we're having these little yeah, this is, look at this. Momentum wave on the bottom. Sorry, we have the, lot of selling volume. Stochastics angled up, but they're looking like it's likely to roll over. Let's see what it looks like on the 1-hour. Yeah, you see rolling over. We even have a trend line right there that it's not being able to get over. And this is expanding on the 1 hour. This is expanding the downside. Negative money flow right here is coming down like this is purple. So this is not saying I want to go up. This is saying it's probably going to be at minimum some consolidation, but likely further downside for AVAX. We marked out those levels. So let's go. Let's go on to the next one. What else did I say? Let's look at algo. Because algo, man, it's just tapping on that line. Just tap, tap, tap-a-roo. Just see this? Boom, 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 boom. Come right into the zone again. Where are my algo holders at? And what price level did you get in on algo? Let me know. What price do you want it to get to? Are you looking for further downside? Let's go out to the daily. Let's see what this is looking like. Yeah, it's just, ooh, just exploring those lows, baby. But we look at it like this. The reason I zoomed out like this, because we can see this kind of curvature. Money flow looks like it's trying. We even have a little bit of curvature here on these momentum waves. It looks like something's brewing, but look at all this red here on the dashboard, on the daily. It's a 4 hour. Let's actually go back to the falling wedge. And also we have the money flow that was kind of curving on that daily, remember? So money flow is curving, the momentum wave's curving. We're in a falling wedge, which tends to break out bullish. But because of all the things going on, I wouldn't be surprised to see this drop down, come back in, get rejected here, and then do something like that. Even though falling wedges tend to break bullish, there's some bearishness in the market right now and some fear. And this has already fallen so far. But look, this is coming into this apex zone down at the bottom. So will we be seeing further downside? I'd really like this just to trade sideways into this range and then kind of do that. But as it stands right now, it's really hard to get a good gauge on something like Algorand, which does have a strong community, but then also has all these things still wrapped up in fear, and just, it's kind of cascaded into this terrible price action for Algorand. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I'd be a little patient with Algorand. What else did we say? Cardano. Broadening wedge broke down. Descending triangle broke down. We have this level here. We've lost it. What was I telling you guys the other day? In this zone here, I was talking about getting down into the 23s and then likely down into the 21s and below. And I don't know if that's going to play out, but we do. Look at this. You almost have like a cup and handle. And if that were the case, let's go ahead and measure this to the neckline. This is the neckline right here. See that? So this is from the bottom to the top. And if we measured that, look at that. That would take us down into the 14-cent zone, right into where these order blocks are. Telling you, if you're not using the BitLab trading stack, you got to get on it. By the way, if anybody's watching us, watching this channel or any channel, and you don't know how the hell we're reading these the candles and patterns and the strategies, head over to bitlabacademy.com. We've got all these different courses in here, and we've been working hard. I had a little sidetrack this last 3 weeks with some in-house drama, as you all know. But we got a lot more stuff coming, and this has got, basically everything you need to really dive in and understand what's going on in the charts and trading strategies. And then we have the premium Discord as well and all that. And you get all that over, if you click enroll now, you can do the BitLab Pro, which has all access to the courses, the premium Discord, and the indicators, or you can just do the courses and the premium Discord here with the I Want All Access. And I decided to add, I think it's through the end of the month, I just decided to just leave that discount up that we have, which is right here, give me 30. So whether you're getting the indicators, whether you're getting the BitLab Pro with the indicators and the courses, or if you're just getting the courses, you can use give me 30 at checkout So check that out. And if you want the indicator, you just come bitlabacademy.com, go to indicators, BitLab Trading Stack, boom, add it. And then once you add it, you put give me 30 for that 30% off. Let's do some more TA. Got a little bit of time left, but so would you guys be okay? Would you guys and gals be okay with the 15-cent Cardano? I'll tell you right now, the lower it goes, the smarter I feel about that decision selling at the beginning of August. I'm like, man, that was a hard thing to do. Why is it so hard to sell crypto? It's so hard. You get so excited when you buy it, but yeah. All right. So this is the level. And look at this, where this level is, excuse me, this level right here. This is right there on a Fibonacci extension. I basically took a measurement here with an extension, and it's right on the 1.618 to the downside. So will we see a little bit of a stop at 17 or maybe even the bottom? But these are the levels I'm looking at, the 17.5 and basically a little bit under 15 cents. I would be so thrilled. I would be thrilled with the 15-cent Cardano. So that's what I'm saying. Now, as it stands right now, if we get down here on the 4 hour, let's go to the 2 hour chart. See, we lost this zone, came up, basically tested this region. And what do we see? Much like all the other times, we're seeing that roundingness and expansion to the downside. So this is not looking like it's about to bounce, because we're getting this, acceleration of downward momentum. And look at all of this red here on the dashboard on the BitLab Trend Fuel. Stochastics do look like they're coming down to reset though. But yeah, I'm looking for further downside. Now let's look at XRP. Sorry to delete that. XRP. Man, 47 cents. Just a thing. And that news came out. Bam, right here. I had gotten in somewhere over here because I was out of XRP for a long time. I got in, it was sometime in beginning-ish of May. I think it was in this dip here. And when this happened, I was like, oh man, I too, just like you all. It's like, oh, I wish I got more, man. I missed out on getting those low prices. And then I reminded myself, man, these markets move around in the digital asset ecosystem. These crypto assets move so much and so quickly that I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wait. I'm going to see, because at some point there was going to need to be a pullback, because we pushed up here and we had this correction here. And I was like, I'm going to see what happens if this is going to be a continuation pump out of this, or if the price action is going to consolidate and fall. And what we get? Price action consolidated and fell. And not only did it consolidate and fall, we are now, 40, under 40, man, look, it's just falling. Fall, baby. So just be patient. You may not all get all the same opportunities again, but you'll get similar setups. So we just have to be paying attention to that. So we got the triangle here. We do have the triangle, but I want you to notice something. The triangle here on the bottom, this BitLab Trend Fuel, this is showing that the trend wave is clipped and it's trying to make its way back up. But in the same vein, we also see this, stochastics are rolling over here, but the money wave here is kind of coming down. So there's some conflicting signals here. And that doesn't mean there's nothing wrong with the indicator. What it's telling you, conflicting signals are a good thing to notice, because conflicting signals mean that the strength of the direction you're wanting it to go may not be there. Because if you have some signals showing bullishness and other ones saying, no, I'm reversing here, that's not showing a concerted effort amongst bulls in the right moment to get it over that hump, to make that push higher. Or conversely, if you're looking for downside price action, to get that reversal down. In this case, we pushed up, we basically got the high volume. Let's go to zoom in right here. We got high volume, stopping volume, and we have this retrace came only up to the 20 moving average, came down right in this zone, and now we're getting rejected at this. This is looking to me like there's more likely than not some more downside. And I'm looking here at the 44 cent level, potentially even down here into the 41s. But I do think the community is strong enough that I don't see this really cascading down unless we get a reversal on some decision from a judge. All right, Quant, what's up? I was talking about this, man. Let's actually go to the chart that I usually use. I was talking about this last 2-3 months, that if the price action loses, we're on the 30-minute. I was like, that's not looking, there we go. If the price action loses that $100 level, I was ultimately looking at these levels down here in the low 90s and then down into the 80s. And that's because of these order blocks, as well as these previous region lows. And we can see price action was just, man, it was just holding this zone. Now that we've lost this zone, this is the area that I'm looking to right down in here, down in the upper 80s. And if we can't hold that, then down here in the lower 80s. But what I would really like is to get down here into the 60s. Why is that? Because we have all this price action right here and this high rejection right here. So dropping anywhere into, I would say, 65 to 70, $72 region. Man, I'd be loading up. Because remember, Quant only has, I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, I think it has 16 million total supply. It has less supply than Bitcoin. Yeah, back supply, 14.8 million coins. And this is got a little bit of institutional, as well as get different governments, as well as this. They are very integrated into some very, very important players globally, which is one of the reasons why I'm interested in it, in addition to the fact that it has such good tokenomics. So I'd like, yeah, getting down here in the 60s. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Remember this, you know, this previous high was 425. And I do think this is going to be one of those performers in this next bull market. I think this is going to, you know, likely be somewhere in the thousands. But we'll have to see. What else? Oh, we said we want to look at GRT. So let's look at GRT, the graph, the Google of the blockchain. Now, this is, I think I was looking at it on this one. Got it. Go. Where did you come from? Where did you go? I can never find it. Bastard. All right. GRT. We can see it's massive. Let's actually go to the 12-hour. There we go. Where did this go? Look at this. Came down into that liquidity magnet. This is order block zones. Order block zone automatically paints on the chart. This is part of the BitLab volume, which is part of the BitLab trading stack. And we did have a little bit of a bullish divergence here, very weak here on the momentum waves here. But the problem with that is there wasn't much of a strong move to that direction. In addition to this continued velocity to the downside. Now, there are some signs of life. We had 4 bullish divergences right here. See that? We have 3 more bullish divergences right here. But the price action is just, this is, you know, subject to what's happening in the market, subject to the different news context and the loss of sentiment for Bitcoin and so on and so forth. That's going to trickle down into these smaller market cap coins and have a larger impact. In fact, if we look at it on the daily, you know, this last 2 days lost 12%. And what has Bitcoin lost in the last 2 days? Let's go here. Let's go to daily. Let's delete this damn thing there. Okay. Okay. Let's see. 3% versus, what was it, 12%? That's why it's so important to have a diversified portfolio and not throw all your money into a micro cap. Don't do that. Or even a a mid cap coin. Like, have that diversified portfolio. Take some risks, but do it with risk consideration and what exposure you're taking on. Even if it's only $2,000, it's only $2,000 you have. So why not just throw it all into one coin? And then if it goes up, great. And if not, I lost it. Who cares? I don't have money anyway. If you think like that, you're never going to have money. Even if you have $100. Now, don't go and diversify $100 into 10 different coins. You know, maybe with that, you know, if you're going to diversify at all, Bitcoin and Ethereum, but then as you're scaling up and you have more, you have a larger portfolio, whether you get up to $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000, you always look at the capital and how it's allocated in your portfolio over time, and understand what your time horizon is on these things. For instance, GRT, excellent coin that I'm looking at for this next bull market. But is now the time to buy? Well, we are. I mean, if you're looking longer term and you also have the resilience to not worry about price, you know, these swings that we're going to get in price between now and the halving, then yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's just a buy and a hold. But if you are going to, you know, if you're trying to find the best opportunity and also, you know, the most risk adjusted, I do think that the price action will likely be coming down here into the six and upper fives and sixes, testing into this zone right here, essentially. And if I buy here and it drops a little further, then I'll add to my position and lower my average entry. I won't be like, damn, it dropped further. No, it's like, yes, I can lower my average entry. You know, you just have to have that understanding, awareness. Now let's get back over to Bitcoin. I got to be wrapping out here in a second. Everybody, don't look at this chart and be so worried. Remember, this is a wave. Likely we'll get a little bit of a drop down, but every time, think about it at the beach, when you have a wave, tide comes back out and it's like, it's never ending circulation of liquidity. And so if this comes down, appreciate the opportunity you have to buy here. But even if you don't have any money to buy, and I'm not telling you to buy or sell, but even if you don't have anything to allocate, remember, watching this, seeing how this plays out, paying attention to the sentiment of everybody in the market, paying attention to what the price action does on this time frame. We're looking at the daily, but then also coming down to the 2 hour and the 4 hour and seeing the interaction of price in this scenario on this smaller term time frame. Prepare yourself for how the market moves and how it responds to different things, so that when the bull market does come and we're getting those pushes, you already are way more comfortable in reading price action on the chart, so you can take advantage of different swings in the market, because we want the market to be volatile. We do. That's how you make money in this market. You wouldn't be investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum and altcoins if it wasn't something that's volatile. The misnomer is people think, you know, it's great when it's going up, but it's so volatile when it's going down. No. Prepare yourself, diversify yourself, strategize what's going on, and have a course of action and a plan of attack, so that essentially you don't attack yourself by making stupid decisions and trading on emotion. So as it stands right now, I would say I'm looking for Bitcoin and most of the alts as well. I am looking for Bitcoin to flush out a little. I mean, at minimum, I'd like to say down. Low 24s is where I'd like to see what the interaction from buyers is there. And ultimately, if I had to guess, I do think we're coming down into the lower 23s. But that's what I'm seeing. I love you guys. I appreciate you all. I am going to be starting a second channel that I won't be talking on. It will be basically the BitLab Trading Stack 24/7 stream. That's I can't remember when we're doing it. It's probably gonna go out at the beginning of next week, but we're working on that, as well as a bunch of course stuff for new course stuff and offerings and stuff for the Discord and everybody in there. Everybody get involved in the Discord. There's a free section in there as well. And with that, I gotta go. I love you all. Make sure you show some love and support. There's been a lot going on here, Hit Network, and we're kind of, especially on this channel, staying positive. And you know, new chapters happen sometimes, and we're a family. And I wish everybody on all sides of it, everywhere. Everybody love and respect. I wish Ben well. Love the guy. I hope he does well with his new venture. And you know, the BitBoy Crypto channel is no longer the BitBoy Crypto. It's now Discover Crypto. It's going to be team driven. You know, with a lot of content all the time. So I love you all. Be positive. Share some positive posts here and there, and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that bell. I appreciate each and every one of you. And with that, I bid you adieu. Oh, make sure you head over to BitLab Academy. Check out all the different stuff we got there, the courses, different offerings, the indicators right here, boom. And use that code, give me 30 for 30% off. An excellent way you can help support this channel and keep our lights on. Adios, everybody. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Hit the like button, subscribe, and be my friend. Have a good day, everybody.